Oh. What's in that? I've not been scary enough. Look at me, I'm scary enough. Boom. Lol. Yeah. Hello, Stranger Things fans, and yes, finally I can do my Stranger Things review, Season 2 review, and this will include spoilers throughout. If you haven't streamed it, if you haven't, well, I guess you have binged it only one day. I guess you have watched it like, we did like over 3 days. Whoa. What a season it was. We had a shocking mayor death. We had a standalone episode with 11. And we had loads of spills and awesomeness in this season of Stranger Things. Yes, we did. Oh my god. It was so good. It was so good and awesome at the same time. So, each episode, of course, includes synopsis. But yeah, it was really, really good. So, throughout this review, I'm going to give every episode a rate of which episodes I enjoyed, which episode I didn't. Well, I did enjoy all of them, but yeah, great fun, great, awesome fun. So, Chapter 1, Mad Max, directed by Duffer Brothers and the Duffer Brothers, written by Duffer Brothers, of course. Here's the synopsis, and then I'm going to tell you my favourite parts of the episode. Almost a year after the events of vanishing of Will, a psychic girl with a tattoo identified to 11's marking her as 8 is working as a part of a criminal gang in Pittsburgh. Back in Hawkins, Will, Mike, Dustin and Lucas meet a new girl at school, Maxine, Max, who eventually captures in the interest of Dustin and Lucas, while her older brother, stepbrother, Billy, organises Steve and terrorise Steve. Mike and Nancy are still dealing with losers of 11 and Barb, respectively. Will has experiencing episodes hallucinations of the Upside Down that feature visions of a Normson technique creature. Joyce, Hopper take Will to be seen at a lab by a new head scientist, Dr. Owens. Later, Hopper goes home to the cabin in the woods where he lives with 11, who is revealed to be still alive. So, Chapter 1, Mad Max. It was good. It was amazing, fantastic, and brilliant. My favourite bits of the episode was the reveal of that tattoo girl, her name as 8. That was surprising as well. That was surprising. Billy advertising, antagonising Steve. Perfect. Well, a new human villain, of course. And we have the episodes of Will, loved that as well, and the reveal at the end of episode 1. Boom. Living with Hopper. Holy crap. But yeah, it was good, fantastic. So I'm going to give Chapter 1 a 8.9 out of 10 because it was really, really good and fantastic of episode. So, on to Chapter 2. So yeah, Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Trick or Treat Freak. Directed by Duffer Brothers and written by Duffer Brothers, of course. This is the flashbacks where, let's walk through the spoilers as well. Flashbacks of, yeah. I loved everything of Chapter 1, really a great opening. So yeah, Chapter 2, Trick or Treat Freak. In flashbacks, 11 manages to escape from the Upside Down, but is forced to remain hidden in the woods to avoid the government agents. In the present, kids prepare for Halloween. Eleven asks to go trick-or-treating, but Hopper instead says that she needs to remain hidden. Hopper investigates when the pumpkin's patches are over until suddenly start rotting. Nancy wants to tell Barb's parents the truth about her death, but Steve says that it is a bad idea. Yeah, it is a bad idea. You don't want to tell her parents that she got eaten by one of the Demogorgons or the the vines from the Upside Down. You don't want to know that. The Demogorgons. So yeah, about her death. But Steve says it is about her death. As the government agents might come after them if they told anyone the truth. Instead, they attend a Harry party where Nancy gets drunk and betrays Steve until he leaves. Jonathan takes Nancy home. Mike, Will, Dustin and Lucas go trick-or-treating later, joined by Max. During the night, Will has another episode and tells Mike about his visions. Mike attempts that he's still trying to contact Eleven. Eleven tries to contact Mike using her powers, but is unsuccessful. Dustin returns home after trick-or-treating and finds a strange creature in his trash can, aka a devil dog. So yeah. Oh yeah. Chapter 2 was funny. Getting more darker. I love how it was a great episode. I loved when Will was having another episode, and I loved how Will was telling Mike about the episodes of the visions. And yeah, I love, because they're friends, of course. They're friends. So yeah. And it was like goodbye relationship between Steve and Nancy. Goodbye for them. So I'm gonna give chapter 2 a 8.7. 8.7 out of 10, because it was a good episode, really dark and awesome. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Same as episode 1. So, chapter 3, The Polywog. Directed by Sean Levy and written by Justin Doobie. Chapter 3, it's more flashbacks from where Hopper finds Eleven, of course, and all that, and an investigation about all the stuff. So, in the flashbacks, Hopper finds Eleven in the woods and sets up his grandfather's haunted cabin as the place for her to live. In the present, Bob, Joyce's boyfriend. Oh, I'm judging when I read. But chapter 8. And it encourages Will to stand up to his fears, and Nancy produces Jonathan to help her on the mission to tell Barb's parents the truth. Hopper asks Dr. Owens to investigate the pumpkin rotten incidents. Dustin tries to learn more about the strange creature he found, a small slug-like animal that he names the Dart, and shows it to the other kids at school. Will describes its hallucinations, and they conclude that Dart is from the Upside Down. Eleven leaves the cabin to look for Mike. She leaves him arguing with Max and mistakes them as flirting. Joyce discovers an image of Will's vision on the video camera Will carried while trick-or-treating. Dart escapes. Will finds it, which triggers another hallucination. Will follows Bob's advice and confronts the shadow monster, but it forces the shadow techno in his throat. Yes, that was really, really dark in the episode. I quite liked it. It was like, no, it was a brilliant performance as well from his performance as Will, which is the one who plays Will, which is Noah. Noah was so good in this season because he wasn't less than in this episode, less than season 1, but good in this series. But yeah, I loved that bit when he had to cross fears and I loved the argument. I love everything of this episode. So I'm gonna give this episode a 9 out of 10 because it was really, really good and amazing. And this continues. So I gave it 9 out of 10. Boom. So chapter 4, Will the Wise. So chapter 4 was pretty dark as well and fantastic as well, and yeah, it was great. It was a great episode, and yeah, and kind of gory as well in this episode, but I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So chapter 4, Will wakes up in the college of Joyce and his friends. Joyce takes Will home and finds him acting strangely, and he starts drawing scribbles on the numbers of pages. Joyce calls Hopper for help, and together they discover the scribbles line form a vast network of vines. Hopper recognises it and error leaves without telling Joyce. Nancy and Jonathan are caught by undercover lab agents when they try to contact Barb's mother. Dr. Owens shows them the portal to the Upside Down and tempts Barb died from it. Of course, she got dragged from the Demogorgon. Boom. From season 1. So, yeah. And they want to prevent other government from learning of it. When they are released, Nancy reveals she recorded Owen's ambition. Lucas tries to get closer to Max, but Billy warns Lucas to stay away. Dustin finds Dart has broken out of cage and devorned his pet cat and is the baby version of a Demogorgon monster. Eleven after a argument with Hopper finds paperwork with the name of a biographer, Terry Imes, and tries to contact her with her powers. Hopper digs into one of the time fields and finds the tunnel leading to the Upside Down. What? And that was a really good episode. I loved Nolan's performance in this episode. I loved Dart Monty's performance in this episode, and yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this episode, as I keep saying. But yeah, I'm going to give this episode a 8.8 out of 10 because it was really good and amazing. So, Chapter 5, Dig Dug, directed by Andrew Statham and written by Jesse Nixon Lopez. Hopper becomes trapped in the tunnels and passes out. Will has vision of Hopper's state, and Joyce couldn't figure out its meaning and recruits Bob to help. He identifies the network as the map under Hawkins, and where Hopper was trapped. Nancy and Jonathan visit the local correspondent Ferris Murray for help. Murray knows the public won't expect their story as ish, but suggests watering down the story to make it more believable, to blame Barb's death on toxicity from the lab. Lucas privately reveals the events of last year to Max to gain her respect. She rebuffs him. Dustin traps Dart in the basement and gets Steve to help capture it. I love Steve and Dustin's dynamic duo in this series. I really enjoyed it. Loved the duo in this episode. I really did. So, yeah, 11 is able to communicate with Terry, gaining her memories of trying to rescue her at Hawkins' lab. Before she was suspect to shock therapy, 11 finds was another girl trained like her. Joyce, Bob, Will, Mike are able to rescue Hopper through the lab. Poison and soon arrive and set the tunnels on fire, causing Will to collapse in a orgy. A seizure. So yeah, this episode was pretty dark and funny at the same time with of course with Jonathan and Nancy and Dustin and Mike Dustin and Steve. I really, really enjoyed this episode, and yeah, Murray, they visit Murray, of course, and for help, and it all goes like very funny and awesome at the same time. So I'm gonna give chapter 5 Dig Dug a 9.2 out of 10 rating, because it was really, really good and dark at the ends of the cliffhanger, of course. And yeah, stay where you are, guys. Stay where. So, chapter 6, The Spy. Directed by Andrew Staten and written by Katie Tefren. Will is rushed to the lab and demonstrating memory loss, which is like what? And Dr. Owens speculates that the Shadow Monster is like a virus in Will, which has spread to his brain, damage the tunnels made lethal to Will. Nancy and Jonathan spend the night at Murray's, where they tempt their feelings for each other. Right, this was funny. Murray was just like, oh, what about sleeping in the same beds? I know you want, like... I've been waiting for this the whole, like, from season 1. And, yeah, to get Nancy and Jonathan together. And it finally happens. I've been waiting for... Yeah, we already called it. That Jonathan and Nancy were going to get together and have sex. So, yeah. I kind of enjoyed it. Not like that. But, yeah, it was a really, really good... Called it. So yeah, where they attempt their feelings for each other. Then they return to the Barnes home and discover Will's drawings. Dustin contacts Lucas, and the two, along with Max and Steve, attempt to trap Dart in the local junkyard. Then Max opens up to Lucas, explaining that Billy's attention is a result of his father remarrying Max's father. A situation Billy was unhappy with him. With the four find that Dart is but one of the pack of the Aborowski monsters, and demo dogs, and they're trapped in the bus until the pack suddenly runs away at the lab. Will discovers a location on his map that the monsters want to avoid locating near lab. Owen sends the team to investigate, but it is trapped. The team is attacked by organic monsters, and suspects make their way into the lab itself. They realise that the monster has multiplied Will. So yeah, this left to the cliffhanger to continue with chapter 8. So chapter 6, The Spy, was really, really good. Another brilliant performance from Noah, of course, and the other kids. Loved the dynamic between Nick and Steve and Dustin, of course. Really, really enjoyed it. It was funny and hilarious and brilliant. So chapter 6, I'm going to give it 9.3 out of 10, because it was really, really good and brilliant. So, on to the standalone episode. Oh my god. So, this is Stranger Things fans event that it's been confirmed that Dr. Brennan is still alive. He is still alive. That's what they said. Except, I think it was one of the executive producers, that he's still alive. He's still out there. So, chapter 7, The Lost Sister. Brilliant performance from Millie Brown in this episode, and Roland plays 8, of course. And yeah, Terry. So, chapter 7, The Lost Sister. Directed by Rebecca Thomas and written by Justin Doobie. 11 leaves to Chicago, find the other girl from Terry's memories there, and 11 tracks down Cal, the girl who with psionic powers from Pittsburgh, along with the others of again. The two reconnect, and Cal shows her powers prowess with her abilities. Now, with the help of the gang trying to exact revenge on the former Hawkins lab scientists for what they did to her, Cal helps 11 to improve her powers by helping them turn to her anger. 11 joins them as they attack Ray, the lab technician that performs shock therapy on Terry, who claims Dr. Brennan is still alive. He is. It's been confirmed. Boom. Stranger Things fan. Boom. Cal tries to have 11 kill Ray. 11 refuses when she finds Ray has 2 daughters. They flee back to the gang's base, but Cal instead 11 even stay and avenge her mother or leave. 11 has a vision of Mike and Hopper at the lab in trouble and decides to return to Hawkins, while Kai and her gang escape from the police. So, this was a brilliant performance of the one who played Cal and Millie. I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed this episode. It was a great standalone episode with 11. I really enjoyed it. I loved it so much. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. So. So. Yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. Basically, her real name is Jane Ives in season 2. So, I'm going to give Chapter 7, The Lost Sister, 9.6 out of 10, because it was really good and fantastic. So this is an extended review, guys. So 9.6 out of 10. So Chapter 8, The Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer. Directed by the Duffer Brothers and written by the Duffer Brothers. The pack of creatures overwhelm the lab, killing many. Mike convinces Joyce to state will prevent the creatures from tracking him. Mike, Will, Joyce, Hopper, Bob, Owens are trapped in the lab. Trapped in the lab's security room. When the power goes out, Bob volunteers to reset the bunkers to allow them to escape. Owen stays behind to help guard the rest out. While Mike, Will, Joyce and Hopper escape, Bob is caught and killed by the pack. R.I.P. Bob. That was like the goriest death I ever seen in TV. I was like, no, Bob. R.I.P. Bob, mate. R.I.P. Bob. They regroup with Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, Dustin, and Lucas and Max, who have come to the lab. The group figures that Shadow Monster is controlling Will and the pack, and if they kill it, it's eventually those will end. They will tie Will up. They tie Will up in the tall we collecting, so that Will sorry my language. That Will couldn't recognise it when he awakes, preventing the monster from locating him. Joyce, Mike unable to get through to Will, who traps out a message in the Morse code closed gate. Suddenly the house phone rings and the monster understands their location. They barricade themselves in the house as the pack moves in. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, Chapter 8, and it was fantastic. At the end, whoa, 11 comes back. Young boys, yes, and kills some of the Demodogs. I know this is my longest Netflix original series, but yeah, it was really good, fantastic, brilliant performance from everyone, and brilliant performance the one who played Bob. Yeah, the one who played Bob. So yeah, the one who played Bob, Sean Astin, brilliant performance from him throughout the series, and yeah, can't wait for you in future shows in the future. But he was amazing in Lord of the Rings and that. So yeah. So I'm gonna give chapter 8 9.7 out of 10 because it was really, really good and awesome. So the finale, chapter 9, The Gate, the Duffer Brothers, directed by Duffer Brothers and written by the Duffer Brothers. 11 arrives at the barns and dispatches the pack of the monsters. A brief reunion, brilliant performance from Millie and the rest of the cast. They devise a plan to close the gate to the Upside Down. Hopper, 11 head to the lab to close the portal, while Jonathan, Nancy, Joyce purge the virus from Will, overheating him. Mike, Dustin, Lucas, Max enter the tunnels to lure the pack away from the lab. Through Steve, enter the refuses to help. Billy, having been told to find Max by his father, arrives and gets a fight with Steve. Brilliant performance for them. That was a good fight scene between Dance and Billy and Steve. Max eventually sedates him and Steve agrees to help. The teenagers enter the tunnels, enact their plan, and they called by Dustin calls Dart along enough for the group to escape. 11 unleashes her anger, successfully closed the portal, and a month later the lab has been shut down. Bob is given a proper funeral. Yes, justice for Bob, thank God. Owen forgives birth certificate for 11 for Hopper. The students attend schools win the dance, which was brilliant. Unaware the Upside Down, the Shadow Monster is still alive and towering over the school. So the whole season was fantastic, brilliant and amazing, awesome. And chapter 9, I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 because it was really, really good and fantastic. Hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Give this a big thumbs up. Comment down below what you thought of this episode and season 2 of Stranger Things, and give the big thumbs up if you're excited for season 3 and Stranger Things if you like Stranger Things, and click subscribe, click the bell button when you notification when I'm upload, and see you in a bit for more awesome reviews. I'm Not So Funny Comedian. Peace out, guys. Keep on subscribing to my channel for all things sketches and reviews. Goodbye, guys. Keep on subscribing to my channel. Bye. Hope you enjoyed my longest review. Bye.